This is veteranship versus youth. These are two guys who pretty much do the same exact thing. One guy is just like the next generation. The other guy has been on a little bit of a rough patch in his career, right? Anthony Smith, if you disrespect the man, you're a fool, because this dude is a true vet of the game, like no matter what you say. However, a little chinny as of late, been getting rocked a little bit. You know what I mean? The will of fire, if you will, AJ, has been flickering. Vitor Petrino, though, seems like he's coming up on in real fashion, like his time is now. So when you look at that number, I just want to know, what's your impression off these opening odds? Minus 325 for Petrino, plus 260 comeback for Anthony Smith. What's your sentiment to the opening odd?
I mean, when I first saw it, Derek, it makes sense, right? Vitor Petrino, 11-0, really has the momentum going forward, has the odds makers behind him. And like you said, man, Anthony Smith has been on a rough streak, especially, I mean, the last two losses, both by knockout? No, it's two of the three losses, both by knockout. But we've seen Anthony Smith get hurt, and I think a lot of that, and maybe I'm wrong, we'll see if Anthony Smith comes out, but when you get a little comfortable, he's got the ESPN show, he's got the announcing, he has things going for him. You get tired of being punched in the face. Maybe that has a little bit to do with where his mindset is and how the fights have been ending, if you will. But nothing lights a fire under you like in a fighter when you got an 11-0 hungry dog barking at you and you're locked in the ring with him. I think Lionheart shows up in this one. The question is, Derek, I mean, we've said it before, age. Like how has the years really worn on Anthony Smith? Because if you look at the last couple fights, they haven't worn well.
Well, let's look at a couple things, AJ. Let's bring up the big screen. And first, let's look at the age. 35 years old, 26 years old for Petrino, so 35 for Smith. 2, I just gave you the opening sentiment for the opening odds, right? Minus 650, Vitor Petrino, plus 425 comeback for Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith was asked about this here, AJ. He was asked about that line, and you know what he said? He's like, this dude's like minus 600 something. He's like, I might as well just go to the beach. I might as well not even show up, right? Like, the fight's already over, right? Chip on his shoulder. Anthony Smith is like, I don't give a damn about what the odds makers say, but at the same time, he's had a chip on his shoulder for a long time. That doesn't always guarantee a victory. This, to me, before we preface any of the wagers here, folks, this is a stay away, pure. You're not throwing down minus 600 on anybody. I don't care who it is. There's zero value to be had there. The only question that I have from you from a pure value play, not talking about props, is overs right here. 1.5 rounds. And we already know what an inclination is right here. 1.5 rounds, minus 200 for the over, plus 160 for the under. AJ, of course, talk to the people. What's the play?
Yeah, I'm taking that over. I mean, it's hard because not Tyson Page, Vitor Petrino is a finisher right here. He can get it done. Anthony Hart, I mean, you said it, Derek, a chip on your shoulder doesn't always end well, but I see him lasting a little bit longer in this fight if it ends up going any further than that. But I'm taking the over. I like those odds.
The good news is that a lot of finishes on the behalf of Vitor Petrino. Second round, some third round stuff. He got some first round finishes in there as well. But at light heavyweight, bro, anything could happen, man. All it takes is one shot in this game. So all I'm saying here is Vitor Petrino, how does he get the job done? Physicality, doing all the things that Anthony Smith does well. I see Anthony Smith being able to kind of pop off and get off on him on the striking department, because Vitor Petrino, very similar to like a Jose Aldo almost, lots of wide shots, not a lot of stuff coming straight down the pipe. Does any fighter in particular hold a power advantage here?
Off the rip, I'm instantly thinking Petrino, but both of them have the crack. I'm not really willing to put it on one or the other.
You haven't really watched Anthony Smith just kind of flatline anybody as of late. It's been a lot of submission stuff. Vitor Petrino, fantastic grappler. So again, rolling with youth right here. If you had to go for a prop on the side of Vitor Petrino, do you like that plus 105 TKO?
Ooh, I do, Derek. I do like that plus 105 TKO. I mean, Smith has been chinny, and especially going in a little aggravated, a little bit uncautious. Some magic can happen. 2
TKO losses in his last 10. Or 3, actually. Khalil Roundtree, that one was rough, right? That one was like, all right, that's totally fair. Let me think of the other ones. We have Magomed Ankalaev, who got the TKO victory, and then finally Glover Teixeira. But that came over, that was the... that was like, hey, bro, I'm sorry, man, while he's just whooping that ass. He's like, huh? What? He's punching him. I'm sorry, bro. He's like, it's all good. It happens. So Anthony Smith is a difficult man to break. We've seen it time and time again. Not sure how much I love that play. I'm a little interested here, AJ, in that plus 240 decision for Vitor Petrino. I'm a little interested right there. Maybe goes for the finish early in Brazil. Anthony Smith is able to hold out. Maybe he says, I don't care. If I lose, I'm not getting knocked out. And we come into some cash money right here. Listen, folks, something to think about right here. But Vitor Petrino is very clearly the play, and this is a stay away.